First Division Airdrie were looking to continue a remarkable cup tie record. In 12 previous cup ties this season, the Broomfielders had won 11 and only lost the other in penalties. So they were entitled to face Hearts in today's Tennant Scottish Cup semi-final with confidence high. Hearts, of course, have already knocked out both the favourites and the holders. 39 years after their last cup victory, surely this was to be their year. Commentary from Billy McNeil and Jock Brown.
Airdrie manager Alec MacDonald has solved his striking problem by playing both Andy Smith and Alan Lawrence to support Steve Cooper. Normally one of them is named as substitute, so there's no place for centre-half Graham Hay in that attacking selection. Skipper Jimmy Sanderson bids to play his first Scottish Cup final, having missed Airdrie's 1992 final against Rangers through suspension. Yet he's on a knife edge again today. One more booking and he might miss the final again if Airdrie win. Craig Nelson is fit to return and goal for Hearts at the expense of Henry Smith, and Willie Jimison returns after suspension. Gary Mackay is back in the starting 11 wearing number 2, and leading goal scorer John Robertson has passed a fitness test to play. The big goal scoring threat from midfield will come from John Miller, who scored the 2 headers which beat Dundee United in the quarter-final. His goal against Thistle in midweek took his tally for the season to an impressive 9. And the referee this afternoon is the young FIFA official Hugh Dallas from Bonkle in Lanarkshire. A place in the Tennant Scottish Cup final on the 27th of May at stake for these two sides. When they last met in the semi-final in 1992, Airdrie qualified to play Rangers in the final. Ryan Hamilton was wearing Hibs colours at the start of the season. So Craig Nelson taking some time to get a feel of the ball. You see the strapping there above the left knee, reflecting the injury sustained a week ago against Falkirk. And a very rash challenge there by Paul Jack, catching John Robertson in the face. Well, Jack doing a marking job on Robertson.
That's one of the problems of getting too close to the player you're marking, and really he sees John Robertson go away from him, and he's certainly struck him on the forehead.
Tommy McLean prowling in on the track, having a discussion there with Tom Forsyth and Eamon Bannon. Alan Ray, the physio, has done the job effectively enough. So Hearts of the free kick, Jim Bett to take it. He's bidding to play in his 6th Scottish Cup final, Bet, after his career with Rangers and Aberdeen. Robertson the ball straight away. Bet makes an angle to receive the pass. Hustled there by John Davis. There's Mackay. Black's clearing header. Now Harvey. Good running ahead by Lawrence. Well, it wasn't quite meant for Andy Smith, but he has possession now, and he also has Sanderson supporting on the back. Very significant departure from the normal Airdrie tactics, this team selection. Cooper trying to get away from Jimison. Handball there against Cooper. Interesting selection though, Billy, with Airdrie opening up in a back 4.
Well, that's right, and if anyone knows anything about the Hearts system, it's certainly Alec MacDonald, because he really was the designer of it all, and they've stayed with it all this time. And obviously the team that he's chosen is to deny Hearts possession, and I think he's also placing Paul Harvey in an interesting position, see if he can entice some of the Hearts back division to come away and mark him.
So here's Sandy Stewart, playing a little bit deeper. Normally here to play with 3 centre-backs and the full-backs pushing forward. Here's Jimmy Boyle, coming from right back, playing in the stadium where he began his career with Queen's Park. Joined Airdrie as a right back in 1987. And the referee's having a word here with John Robertson. I think it's about this blood on the side of the head. The referee following FIFA directives to have any player with blood spilling off the field. Good leap by Cooper. This is Lawrence. Support play from Davis and from Stewart. Well, couldn't take that in his stride, otherwise with an excellent chance on for Airdrie. Still they maintain the pressure. Here's Kenny Black. Sanderson makes a good angle inside. Now Harvey. Hamilton comes across. Black again. Patient play from Airdrie this. Sandy Stewart. Headed away firmly by Miller. Airdrie keen to keep the pressure on. Paul Jack gives the throw to Jimmy Boyle. The referee wants that taken further back.
Yeah, this is a good move because Airdrie are getting plenty of players forward, but really Sandy Stewart just misjudged that there because he should be stepping onto that and having a go.
Airdrie still on the attack. Here's Black. Now Stewart. Hustled by Mackay. A late tackle by Gary Mackay. And already an alteration is being made by Tommy McLean. He's prepared John Cahoon for action. I wonder if he's going to make sure Hearts are 3 up. Or is John Robertson unfit to continue? We'll see in a moment. Paul Harvey flights in the free kick to Cooper. Well, that was a very good opportunity for Cooper to put pressure on the Hearts defence.
It's always a good free kick this because eliminating the goalkeeper, but really Stephen Cooper should be playing that across the goal to give one of his other forwards a chance of finishing it off.
Nelson's clearance. Helped on by Miller. That's Sanderson first to the ball. Colin Miller's header. Sanderson to Boyle. Levine's header. Gets a chance to go forward with 2 centre-backs behind him, using his pace, driving at the Airdrie defence. It's a good ball in. And the clearance came from Kenny Black. That was excellent play by Craig Levine.
Yeah, he does well because he steps away from his defensive beat there and end up putting in a dangerous cross, and it was difficult for a defender to clear that type of ball.
McPherson, Levine, all in the box. And John Miller too. He's as dangerous as any. Another corner kick. The Hearts now trying to exert some pressure. Put in by Miller. Hit one well by Sanderson. Here's Levine. Chased by Andy Smith. Mackay forced to hurry there by Lawrence, who did very well indeed to win possession for Airdrie. This is Harvey. Davis racing through the centre. That's for Lawrence. Still has Davis available inside. And very well saved by Craig Nelson. He knew exactly what he was about there. That's a fine, swift attack from Airdrie.
It's good support play by Paul Harvey that sets up the chance. And a difficult shot. I'm not convinced that he tried to do that, but it wasn't all that far away from finishing up the net.
Now Black. Jimmers at full stretch. Smith lets that run for the throw. Been a very impressive opening half hour this from Airdrie. Here's Harvey. Still in possession, wants to take on players inside the box. Back to Andy Smith. Chance off for Cooper! The goal's been coming for Airdrie, and Steve Cooper has delivered. 29th minute of the match, and little more than Airdrie deserve.
What a lovely delivery to the back post. Eliminated the goalkeeper, eliminated the central defenders. And there's Stephen Cooper in the right position to put it away. There were beautiful delivery, coming away from the goalkeeper, no problems there.
That's a great header, but a delightful cross, leaving Nelson stranded. So, Hearts have responded instantly. There's John Cahoon, number 12, who's replaced Brian Hamilton. Well, that introduction of Cahoon was dreadful a little time ago, but it's now been provided. Hearts certainly have been second best in the opening half hour, and the goal from Cooper richly deserved for Airdrie. Well, no chance at all for Craig Nelson in goal. That cross beating him comprehensively, and Cooper completing the job. Billy Jimison challenged well by Cooper, played in by John Miller to Robertson, turning brilliantly. And tackled extremely well by Sanderson. The handball appeal waved aside by the referee. Still Hearts keep players forward. Played in long by Levine. Jim Bett challenging well. Here's Paul Jack doing extremely well. The clear is John Miller, goes in late. Well, Hearts were appealing here for a penalty kick as John Robertson controlled this and tried to make space for the shot. You can see Jimmy Sanderson make the tackle. The ball certainly struck his right arm, but that was certainly not intentional. Cooper tackled strongly there by Jimison. Here's Colin Miller. John Miller. Played long beyond Boyle. Here's Hagan. Cahoon joining Robertson in the box. That's Robertson. Great save from Martin. Well, that's Robertson his best. Finding space inside the box for shots on target.
Yeah, the substitution's working well because Jimmy Boyle's been eliminated there, but this is vintage John Robertson. Pulls it down brilliantly, makes possession, good shot, and good save by the goalkeeper.
Robertson. Good running by Mackay, promising now for Hearts. Well, there were 3 Airdrie defenders there before any Hearts player to make the clearance, and it's the last action of a first half totally dominated by Airdrie. They could run this by Mackay, playing it across, but look at the way the Airdrie players closed in on that. It's typical of the first half play, and Airdrie thoroughly good value for their first half lead, provided by Steve Cooper. It's excellent header, John Martin making an excellent save from John Robertson's Hearts hit back, but it's Airdrie who are deservedly in the lead. At half time, it's Airdrie 1, Hearts 0. No further changes to be made by either side at half time. John Kuhn had already replaced the injured Brian Hamilton for Hearts, but Kevin Thomas, their second substitute, remains on the bench as they try to find a way to turn the tide in this match, which has been going Airdrie's way virtually from the start. Tommy McLean in discussion there with his lieutenants there, Eamon Bannon and Tom Forsyth. Foul against Steve Cooper. Free kick taken quickly by Miller. Here's Colin Miller. Now Mackay becoming more involved in the build-up play for Hearts. Checks inside Jack. Colin Miller plays it in. There's Hagan. Punched away there by Sanderson. There was an opening there for a moment. This is Cahoon. Back it comes to Mackay. Trying the 1-2 with Hagan. Now McPherson. Mackay tried the return pass, and it's fly kicked away there by John Martin.
Yeah, this was just a little lack of control, lets him down, but good thinking, quick thinking by the goalkeeper. He knocks it away.
Well, Hearts now building up some pressure. Robertson turning well. Trying to do things on his own. He's taking on Kenny Black. He's won a corner kick. He thinks he might have had better than that, and he's getting handball again towards the referee. Played in there by Hagan. McPherson nods it back into the danger area. Smith is there for Airdrie. This is Kenny Black. Colin Miller's header finds Jimison. That's good play by the big centre half. Now McPherson. Hagan still out there on the right, taking on Sandy Stewart. Wants the ball on his left foot for the cross. That's the better side for him. Easy for John Davis. There's Levine. Chance to play the ball back in. McPherson's there for Hearts. That was deflected off Jimmy Boyle. Corner kick to Hearts again. A relentless spell of pressure here from Hearts, and they want to bring on Kevin Thomas. He's preparing to go on, the 19-year-old. As Hagan takes the corner. Martin makes a good clean punch. Here's Cahoon. Turning away from Davis. That's good play. Helped on there by Jimison. And Sanderson escorts that back to Martin. Good defensive play again by Airdrie. That's a good header by Cooper. Here's Lawrence. Airdrie trying to get players into the box. It's blocked well by McPherson the first time. Lawrence wants to go past him, I think. Chance on here for Cooper. Well, that was a very good opportunity opportunity there for Steve Cooper. He had more time than he realised, I'm sure.
That's right, he controls the ball nicely, makes room for himself, but really doesn't get composed enough to hit a good shot. And at the end of the day, but Alan Lawrence did well and set him up nicely. And there you are.
Colin Miller now playing as a spare man at the back. The markers for Levine and McPherson. Here's Miller. That's another very good tackle by Sandy Stewart, and that allows Airdrie to break again. Here's Alan Lawrence. Here's Cooper in the middle. Harvey arriving late. Lawrence may try to do this by himself. He does. And overruns the ball. Colin Miller in the end did very well indeed, forcing Lawrence wide and allowing him to run the ball out for the goal kick.
Yeah, it's good defending by John Miller. Here you see him, he's holding off, he's getting him as close to that. He knows he's not got the pace of Alan Lawrence, so he gets him as near that byline as he can and eventually allows him to run it over the...
Here's a good run from David Hagan. It's away from Andy Smith, now faces Jimmy Boyle. Tries to whip in the cross, it's a good one. And the deflection there, the header out of the far post came from John Miller. It's a corner kick. Hearts again asking for a penalty.
Well, it was a great run by David Hagan and great cross. He eliminates the defender. Now, Hearts might well have a claim for a penalty kick there.
Certainly struck Paul Jack's hand, but I don't think again it was deliberate. Well, fine running by Hagan. That's the kind of play which Tommy McLean was asking for, without question. Here's Cahoon. Swept away by Sanderson. Chase on here, which Colin Miller requires to win for Hearts. Had Lawrence been 1-1, there could have been a problem. So, the former Hearts manager like MacDonald, watching his Airdrie side, holding a deserved lead. And now Tony Smith breaks, his first real contribution to the play. Operates to the left-hand side. Running at Colin Miller. And almost a clinching goal there. Alan Lawrence needed longer studs.
That's a super run by Tony Smith, you know, and Alan Lawrence only misses that by inches.
Thomas to Mackay. Good play. Here's McPherson. Cahoon to his right. Jimmy Sanderson goes across. Lots of Hearts players forward again. That's good wing play by John Cahoon until the cross. Tony Smith thundered away. He's been making good space for crosses, Cahoon. Hasn't yet found the accuracy he wants, though.
It's good play initially, busting past his opponent there, but he's really got to try and eliminate the first defender.
Cahoon will take this corner, and Hearts persisting with far post corner kicks all afternoon. That's a better one to the near post, and McPherson was there. It's headed away by Boyle. Well, the first real shot corner kick taken by Hearts, and McPherson almost found the net.
They're so dangerous at corner kicks, and it's a good header, but Jimmy Boyle's in the right position to get rid of it.
Cahoon's corner, touched on there by McPherson. Miller returns it, headed away by Boyle, and a great save from Martin from Gary Mackay. The injured goalkeeper makes a valiant save.
It's a marvellous save because Airdrie actually lived dangerously, but when the shot comes in, you can't really see where he is, and his sight's obscured, but he does so well to get across here and put that away for a corner.
Hearts have to settle for a throw. A wrestling match going on. Tony Smith and John Robertson, the linesman drawing the referee's attention to that. Now that was unsavoury for a moment. Tony Smith blocking a run made by Robertson. There was an angry reaction, and the linesman is now telling the referee what he saw. Robertson goes across here. He's explaining what the linesman saw. The elbow was used there. It's a red card for Robertson. Well, now that didn't appear to be a very serious incident, and Tony Smith appeared to be the first offender. But Robertson's angry reaction, the flailing arm, results in the red card. Jim Bett complains and gets a yellow card. So Hearts had to try to save this match with 10 men. Here's Mackay. Lofted it back in. Colin gets Kevin Thomas rather with a header. Now that surely will end it all.
We're almost into 4 minutes of stoppage time, and the final whistle goes. Airdrie are in the 10th Scottish Cup final. They've held on grimly throughout the second half. The tennis man of the match, Jimmy Sanderson, the captain, salutes his teammates. They've made it with a tremendous rearguard performance in the second half. John Martin goes hurtling off, a hero again for Airdrie. But for Hearts, their poor first half was the undoing of them. The Airdrie supporters celebrating in full. And it's Airdrie who go forward to await the winners of the replay between Hibernian and Celtic. It's Airdrie 1, Hearts 0.
You can imagine the boys are absolutely ecstatic about the performance. I thought we took the game to Hearts today, and I think at the end of the day we come out deserved victors.
You did change your tactics a bit for this particular game. How do the players feel about that?
Well, we're actually delighted again. I've been saying it all season, we want to get back to playing football. And particularly Paul Harvey, John Davis and Alan Lawrence were outstanding today. And I think if we play it on the floor, we're actually quite a formidable team, and today you could see the evidence.
What was the second half like to be involved in when you were facing all that pressure?
Well, it's like anything. We got ourselves camped 20 yards out, and we just soaked up the pressure. It was simple as that. We're quite happy to let Hearts have the ball quite far out. And at the end of the day, we had John Martin on song. And as I say, we just soaked up the pressure, and we're quite happy with the performance.
Well, obviously we're bitterly disappointed, I think, especially in our performance in the first half, which was totally unacceptable, you know. We never looked the team. We got to the semi-final by playing fluent football, but the first half there, so disjointed it wasn't true. And that's no trying to take anything away from Airdrie, because I think it would be wrong to do that. But factual information is we were hampered. Hamilton's hamstring, you know, he was in a collision and his hamstring went immediately. And Jim Bett was another one who was a hamstring injury. So both these players within the first 10 minutes had hamstring injuries.
What kind of implications does this have? How bad a blow is it to Hearts?
It's the same for anybody. In the semi-final it's a bitter blow, it's a savage blow, but football is about disappointments and how you react to disappointments. You pick yourself up. We have a game on Wednesday night, and it's a case of how we react to that. You know, you can't dwell on it, just the same as we can't dwell on success. A final word about Airdrie. How hard do you rate them, and do you think they can win the final? I think they're capable of it. You know, they've got a lot of experienced players, they've got a lot of good football players there today, but in all honesty, I think we made things easy for them, you know, in the first half. By being so disjointed, but you get to the final, they're there, they merit being there, especially by their first half performance, and you take your chance on the day.
A lot of people have said Airdrie are the kind of tough side in the competition. Do you think you sort of laid that sort of reputation today?
Well, we obviously signed 2 football players, and Paul Harvey and Boy Davis, and we've tried to get away from that image. But at the end of the day, if my players are only going about pressuring people and tackling and jumping, then they're no good to me. I think that's basically what the game is. It's all about getting the ball and playing football. If you've not got the ball, you don't let them play. And it's, to be honest, Jock, it's only people who don't like me right about Airdrie.
Well, you expect the same kind of performance in the final. Do you have any preference of who you might play?
As long as it's maybe the green jerseys. For sure to bring a big crowd.
Yes, no praise too high for Alec MacDonald and for his Airdrie side. Their second Scottish Cup final in just 4 seasons. And on the day, as I think Tony McLean admitted, Derek, they were well worth it.
Really, it could be 3 finals they were in. Do you remember a semi-final they were robbed of it as well? So you can't take that away from Airdrie and for Alex MacDonald. I think they were the better side today, no doubt about that. They let Hearts come so far and then closed them down, done what they were good at, you know, pressurising them on the ball. And I think they thoroughly deserved it. For me, I think Hearts froze on the day. Many of the players froze on the big occasion.
Yes, which is not unknown in semi-finals, sadly. Let's take a look at the goal which decided it then just after 29 minutes.
Great play by Paul Hart. I think he had a marvellous game as well. He got a little break there, the ball falling to Andy Smith. You don't often see him on the right wing, but for me, Willie Jamieson was the man here. I thought he was caught ball watching. Stevie Cooper's magnificent in the air. You can't give him any space in the box. They gave him that space, and didn't he punish them?
He certainly did. And John Robertson had, shall we say, an eventful afternoon, didn't he? It started after just 20-odd seconds, in fact, when he was a victim of really quite a nasty tackle, wasn't
Well, I think so. Whether it's the first minute or in 30 minutes, when you're tackled like that, I think it's due a yellow card anyway. It wasn't so much the tackle. I think he went for the ball. The ball was in there, but he'd been holding the jersey for about 10 yards. He did go for the ball. There was no malice, unfortunately, for John to hit him in the face, but to me, that should have been a yellow card. And Robbo went on, it didn't worry him, he's got the band on, but quick on his feet, that was one of the few chances that he created for himself in the game, and John Martin was up to it. Look, great touch with the left foot, good turn there, just got away from the marker, decent strike in the corner, but John Martin, again, in good form. The sending off, I think, You can't lift your elbows like that. I mean, he was provoked, there's no doubt about that to me. I think Tony Smith was the first to grab him back. John Robertson was too quick, tried to get away. There's the elbow in the face. But then the hand came over as well. I think Tony tried to catch him as well. I think he's fortunate that he stayed on the park as well.
And I think that's what was annoying Jim Bett. When he was booked afterwards, he felt, well, if our man's going, shouldn't Tony Smith have gone?
Well, John Robertson's retaliated. I mean, he's not going to do that unless he's been struck, you know, and his jersey was being pulled and everything. He reacted, as any person would, but I think the two of them should have gone.
I think Alec MacDonald quite delights in the reputation that Airdrie have, fairly or unfairly. There's a kind of Wimbledon connection there. They've been the Wimbledon of Scottish football, but Wimbledon this season are playing much more football. So are Airdrie.
But they play to their strengths, Dougie. They say they close teams down, but they do have footballers on their side. But we talk about the backbone of football teams. They've got that. You've got John Martin, experience in goals. You've got Sanderson in the centre of defence. You've got Kenny Black in the midfield. Cooper up front. So they've got the backbone.
And Alan Lawrence's
when you've got the Harveys there and the John Davises, the footballers, and the Lawrences, I mean, it is a good side. On their day, they're a very, very hard team to beat.
Yeah. Alan Lawrence, particularly today, took a lot of pressure off when Hearts were.
Well, you need that,
attacking.
especially when you're up against it. You need someone with a bit of pace, you know, to take you up into the opposition half. And he was fortunate there. I don't think that was a shot, it was a cross. I think Craig Nelson didn't know too much about it. I was a bit fortunate to get away with that. But he does have great pace, and that's what's needed in a team. You can't beat that. Here, he's only, I mean, inches away from that. The ball just, I think, came across a wee bit too quick for him. He was in there. He's only about 5'2". He'd been 5'3". He might have connected with that. But you need people like Alan Lawrence in your team.
Couple of penalty claims. How did you feel about those?
I didn't think the first one was a penalty. It's one of these incidents where there's so many people in the box, you know, and there's legs and arms going. Jimmy Sanderson gets the tackle, he falls, but really he didn't play the ball played him. So I didn't think that was a penalty kick at all. John Robertson again involved, he's very quick. Look at the turn, great turn. There's the tackle and the ball hits him. I didn't think that was a penalty kick. This one's different. David Hagan, the ball there certainly hit the hand. We're saying, where's the referee at this stage? Well, there's the referee. Look at his view. When you look at that, it's blocked. Kevin Thomas is blocking the view there for the arm, so he didn't see it. So if we let it run, and the ball definitely hit Paul Jack's hand. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. We get a better view from this angle. When the ball's over, we'll see where's the linesman here in this stage as well. Well, there's the linesman there. And look at his view. You'll see it there in his view of that. When John Miller comes to head it, his view's impaired as well of the incident, so we don't see it. When it comes over, he gets it well. Many times has John Miller come to the back post. To me, that's a penalty kick. The arm was out. Look, I mean, if you're going for that, your hands are by your side. His hands were out, and it was on target. For me, I thought that should have been a penalty.
And just really their bad luck that the linesman and the referee were both unsighted.
Well, it wasn't to be Hearts' day, was it?
Yeah, it looked that way. Just a brief word, they're in the final, and I tell you what, neither Celtic nor Hibs will fancy it much.
Well, they won't, because they do a good job. Alex MacDonald's got them playing as a unit, and they stop teams playing. That's important, and they've got the flair players that can go and score a goal. I'll tell you what, if Airdrie score first in the final, they'll take a bit of beating.
Well, they have, of course, to wait until after.